Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. Back with the clue game this evening. And I rolled the dice when I finished my last layout, and I rolled Professor Plum, and I have to use purple flowers. I rolled the rope for the weapon, and I have to do an Easter page. And I rolled the billiard room, and I have to use a stripe. So purple flowers, Easter page, and use a stripe. So I got it together somewhat, and we are going to scrap my boys coloring Easter eggs. This is back in 2019. So I went ahead and put together the little base page. I have to use a stripe, so even though these are not like even stripes, it is stripe. And so I'm going to use that for my stripe. And I am going to, I double matted these pictures. This is all 4 of them. And I'm telling you, like this one had 3 eyes. I don't even know what that is. We had some strange creations that year, but they have fun doing it, and that's all that matters. It's a lot of fun doing it with them. And they're getting kind of big, but they still like to do it. So we missed a year or 2 here and there not coloring eggs, but we nearly always color eggs. One year I had a big party when they were younger than this at my house, and had like all their kids in their class at church, and we did at my house. We had all kinds of things to decorate our eggs with. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm just eyeballing it. I think that's pretty straight. I'm actually going to use some washi tape. I wanted to do something across there, and so I drew a line because when I looked at it earlier, it just didn't look straight. So I drew a line, and I guess it was straight. You know what? I am going to put some glue under that. Washi tape, I just don't trust it. I don't think I have any that's ever come up, but I nearly always just run a bead of glue under it. I just don't trust it. And once you fold it over like onto the back side, and then I usually do something back there, I think it's probably okay, but I don't want to take that chance. This was about the only purple washi I had, so I used it. It's kind of a shiny, but it's pretty. I liked it. Okay, so there's that. Let's turn that over. I didn't put much on this end to secure. Get that all secured down so I don't have to worry about doing that later. That one I didn't get it very well spaced. That's all right. Okay, so that's got the base of it done. You're actually going to be surprised. I usually have these really busy layouts, and I don't think this one's going to be that busy. However, now that I think about it, I think I want to put some splatters on this, I think. We're going to see. I may not, but I may. See if I can find here's a block. Or I could even just do, let me think about this. I may do packaging. I want something, I think, up there on that top part. And the purple I have is this, and I'm going to have to play with it and see if I like it before I do it for sure. So let's put a little water on this. I just don't know that this is dark enough, and I don't want to get up and look for a darker one. Where is my fan? Let's do this brush. I'm going to move my layout, and I'm just going to try it here on this. So the more I think about this, I really don't think this is dark enough. Yeah, that won't even show. That won't even show. I could do white, I guess. Nah, I think I'll just skip it. I don't want to. I may go back and do some afterwards, but I'm not going to make you wait for me to dig that out. So we're going to do what we got. That is just, if it was dark, I'd like it, but it's not dark enough. And then this picture, so I've got each one of the boys with one of their eggs. And then I've got this picture that is all of them sitting around doing with their little kits and things like that. And then I've already got my journaling done. And I think I'm going to put my journaling right over here. And then I've got this stuff that I pulled out thinking I could do a cluster up here with this camera. I want to look who made this camera. This camera made by Lauren Gross. With love, hope you like it and as much as I do. And I do. I do. So I've got that camera that I think I want to use. I have this. This came in a swap also, but it didn't have a name on it, and now this little thing is stuck to it. But I've got all of these colors in this stripe. So I was kind of thinking I would just put that camera across that. This has kind of got that color in it, and then it's got a little lighter shadow on it. So I thought I might use that. That'll be last if I do. I've got this frame that matches this frame that I can do something with. That's kind of what I had in mind. And then I punched some of these branches, and I thought I would see about putting those branches across some of this. They're dark, really dark, like almost black on the back side. I don't like the back, and it's textured. I didn't like it at all, but I do like just this lighter lavender. And I don't know if I'm going to want one. If I do, it'll be cut down somewhere up here. I think I probably still want that on a diagonal. I don't think I want it straight. Maybe the frame can be straight. Maybe something like that. And I've got some, of course, I've already got my purple flowers. I've got my stripe, and it's an Easter layout. So I've got everything covered that I have to do for the clue game. So from here, it's just whatever I want to do. I'd really like to put that camera up on foam. I just am trying to not use so much foam, but it sure would look better. And I've got these little purple flowers that I'm going to mix in. And I've got some brads that I think I may want to use too. So let's take this camera and let's look at these little branches off of it, and maybe actually attach the branches to the camera and then do it down. Let's try that. I want to write down who did this. I don't like it when I forget who did. So this was Lauren Gross. I can't write. Okay, I've got that. So I'll write that on the back of my layout too. So when I do a layout share, that's stuck, yeah. So let's see, where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Let's see if we can get that on there. If I can get them where I want them. I think I want to stick them to the back of this. think maybe one down here. That can kind of look like one continuous thing there. And then a smaller one up at the top in case I use that love. I kind of set it on it. So let's try maybe that. Maybe. We can always cut it off if we need to. If we don't like it, we can just cut it away. But I want that one smaller. Because if I just put that love up there, I just want a little something coming out from under it. And then I think I want the camera also on a slant. Maybe like that. I think. So let's get our foam tape out. And let's go ahead and put a little bit of foam tape on the back of this. Let me do the twist while I'm doing this. The twist tonight comes from Psalm 56, and it says, "You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Are they not in your book?" That is so pretty to me. That's the psalmist, which was King David, and he was running from his enemies when he wrote this. So he was really in dire kind of situation, and he's writing this, and he says he's saying, God, you know when I toss. You know, sometimes at night when you're tossing and turning, and it's kind of nice to know that God knows that you're troubled about something, or that you can't sleep, that you're worried, or whatever the situation is. God cares enough about us that he counts our tossing. And then it says, and my tears are in your bottle. God collects our tears and puts them in a bottle. This tells me that God loves us so much that he cares about us. As a parent, we love our children. We care about our children. But we also know that we can't keep every single thing that's unpleasant from them. They have to learn from those experiences. Our experiences shape us. Our experiences make us who we are. If God protected us from everything, we wouldn't grow. We wouldn't be able to help others. And so he doesn't just rescue us from everything, but he cares and he knows what we're going through. He gathers our tears and he counts our tossings. One of the other translations said, numbers are wanderings. But whichever way you want to look at it or think of it, it's God saying, I care enough that when you hurt, I hurt. I see your tears, I see your pain, and I care. That's the kind of God I want. The one that sees my hurt, knows my hurt, keeps track of my hurt, and goes with me through my hurt. And he doesn't forget it because he bottles our tears and counts our tossings. Okay, so let's see how we want to. I think about like that will work. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this little frame down. This little frame, I made this for something a long time ago. Back when we were having to keep our swaps real flat and everything, I made this for some kind of purple swap a long time ago. Long time ago. And I cut out some extra frames and that type of thing. So that's where this little frame came from. And that's where that came from. Now let's see if we can get this where we can still see our frame. Maybe kind of like that. And then I've got I found three. I was digging through my brads, and I found three little flower brads in purple. So I want to use them, and there were only three, and I've already lost one of them a couple of times. So I want to use those somewhere, I think up here around this. And then I've got these little flowers just that I had punched and stuck in. They're extras of this stuff. And I had them punched and in this. And I've got some other little brads that I could use. But I thought just stick a couple of these around, two or probably three. And then use those little flower brads. I thought they were kind of cute. I just like to curl my flowers a little instead of leaving them so flat. Even when you put them in the page protector, I think they show better and look better if they've had that little bit of curling done. And I've got more of those, so let's see if we need another one. We may look at another one. I definitely want to use these little brads. So let's get them put somewhere. Maybe one with each one of these flowers. Or would they be cuter put together in a little cluster? I'm thinking just put one with each one of these flowers. I usually have more luck doing brads if I pierce the paper and then put the brad in, instead of trying to pierce the paper with the brad. Okay, there's that one. So let's get one up here with this one. I forget to use my brads. One up there. I have a ton of different types of things, but I only had these three little bitty purple ones, two darker ones and a lighter one. That one may be, it's kind of lavender, or it might be pink, I don't know. That little flower has not a full petal on it there, so let's trade it in and get this one. I don't know if I've told y'all yet, I've got to have cataract surgery. Oh, I'm dreading it so bad. I don't like anybody to mess with my eyes, but I'm just getting where I have got to have it done. No choice. It's like I'm looking through wax paper. If any of y'all have had it, tell me. Let me know. Help me not be so scared of it. I love my doctor. I go to a retina doctor because I have a macular pucker. Makes everything look like rickrack. If Terry Rice's husband had here, he'd say, "Did you say rickrack?" And they're going to correct that also at the same time. But I just don't. I'm going to see if I'm going to try to put, I'll cover it if it doesn't work. I'm going to try to put that little round brad in the center of this flower. I didn't have hardly any purple ones because you know me, I do boys. I don't do a lot of purple layouts. And this was just from a paper pad that I had torn apart. When this coming month, the second Sunday in September, I'm doing a organization video, and I got some new cabinets in my craft room, and I have reorganized my paper, and I really, really like it. So I've got things where they're much easier to find. That does not want to split apart. And as a result, I just can't get it opened up. Normally these are pretty easy, but this one is being difficult. Go through there. My fingers are not tiny, they're big. And that makes it harder. There. Now, one side's supposed to be longer than the other. There we go, finally. I like to give these a really, really good push so that they lay flat. And then I usually go back and put washi tape over them just so they can't puncture anything or do anything like that. Let's see what else I've got. That one's dark, so it won't show up. Here's another light one. And then I think that's all I have. I don't think I have a third one other than that dark one. I guess I could just use the dark one, but let's see. Let's get this one and this one. I've got some little dots that were in this stuff too, so I can use just a little dot for the center of that one. Like I said, my fingers are big and these little things are tiny. Makes it kind of hard for me to handle them. I can usually do it without having to turn it over, but these are being difficult. There. Okay. Yeah, I think this one is dark, and I just don't think it will show up in that. So I may just stick it up here somewhere. I'd like to use it and not put it back in my stash because one isn't going to do me much good. Come here. My big old fumble fingers. And it's that dark purple. There, that one split pretty good. Okay. All right, and then we have this love. I can use one of these just little, come here, I got my glue balled up there. I can use just one of these or one of these little dots. Oops, come back here. Let's just use one of the little dots. That'll make it look more like those with the little things in them. All right, get this back up here, get that down there. And then I think I really kind of want to use this love because it says love making beautiful memories. And I like that. So I think I'm going to put that on there. I'm just going to stick it to that camera. I think it'll be just fine. And then it's got that little bit of that branchy thing coming out behind it. Love making beautiful memories, and that is my title. And then I got to get this picture down and my journaling down. And then I'm going to do a little something right down here. And then I'm going to leave it. That's it. I probably will find some darker purple in my Stampin' Up! Inks that I don't keep right here by me and cover my picture and do some splatters. But I am going to leave this one really very plain. Let's see, I got to make room for my... And I don't want that picture straight. I want it kind of, all of this appears on diagonal. So I want that on diagonal. And then get this little thingy down. Yeah, there were some strange looking eggs that day, but those boys were having so much fun. We had gotten these little kits that had some cute stuff in them, but they just were having fun. Okay. There's that. And then down here, I made a swap. That's stuck to it. I made a swap a long time ago that had these little birds on a limb. And I had a purple one that was like, you know, an extra. And so I had 2 or 3 that were extra of different colors. So I thought, I want to use that little purple bird. I could put him up on foam too, since I've got that on foam, but I think I'll just leave it. I'm going to get his little feet glued down so they don't catch. I try to slide it in the page protector. And then I've got a couple of these flowers that I'm going to just stick down here. And we're going to call it done. That's really, you know, mine are usually so busy, but I just kind of liked this one sort of simple. Get our flowers down. That one kind of overlap him. I'll tell you, since school started, I don't have company like I did. I had one grandson that spent the night with me last night, and then he and another one came home with me from church, and then another one came over for a while, but I didn't have anybody on Saturday. They all had stuff to do, and it's like, I need my boys. I get lonesome for my boys. So I have them like 24/7 all summer long, and then all of a sudden it's like they just disappear when school starts. We've got everything starting though. They have to play a couple of them play flag football, and we've got 2 in baseball. We've got 1 in jiu-jitsu. We've got another one, cross-country track is starting. And so we'll be busy. But it's not like having them spend the night with me every night. And I miss it so much. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I think that is going to be it. I think I don't know. You'll find out when I do the layout share. I may do some sprinkles up there, but I may not. I kind of like it. So there it is. Just a really simple base page, double matted everything, and I don't get to use purple very often. So the Clue Game helped me get to use some purple. So I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. I'm doing my 1,000 subscriber hop right now. Several have already joined me in it, and they're just awesome. And so if you haven't and you would like to, I just am asking you to scrap something that is precious to you. That's all that I want you to do. If you're a card maker and you want to make a card for somebody that's precious to you, just do it. And just let me know you've done it so I can see it. I love to see them. So have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else. Well, phooey, I forgot to roll for my next layout, so I will just add this in to the end of the video. So let's see what we got to do. Let's see who done it. Number 3, Mrs. White. Mrs. White. All right. And she did it with number 5, the wrench. And she did it where? In the ballroom. That's an interesting place for a wrench. Okay. And let's see, where is Miss White? Miss White. Let's see what we've got with Miss White. White enamel dots. That's not too bad. Okay, white enamel dots. And then the wrench. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A movie or TV show. Okay. And then we have the ballroom, number 3. 1, 2, 3. Use flair. I don't even know if I have any flair. I'll see. I may have 1 or 2. I don't use flair. Make sure 1, 2, 3. Yep, use flair. Okay. All right. Why couldn't it have been a handmade title or something? But I'll find some flair. All right. So that's what it's going to be next time. Thanks. Sorry. Have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else. I'll try to remember to roll again next time. Thanks.